Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Okay, just a quick little funny story here. So I caught these from far away. These two little fuckers trying to break into a truck down there. So I will get to that in a minute. But the funny thing is, I saw them the other day, and I didn't actually catch them, but I was walking towards them because I was actually in over here. That's the field with the coyotes, and over there, see that light right in the middle, kind of than where that truck is, which is what I'll be talking about in a second. I was walking through, there's a path, and I was walking through here, and I saw them right about there. I ran into them, and I was actually just walking over because I wanted to see if I can see any coyotes and, kind of film them from or record them from a distance. But as I'm coming through, I guess they saw me and they started walking towards me. There's two skinny kids. I don't know, one guy was taller than me, but probably weighed about 50 pounds wet at best, and then some other little stockier kid. But anyway, not really much of a threat. But they came over, they saw me, and they asked me if what I was. So they asked me if I'd lost something because I had my camera on or my flashlight on, and I said no, I'm just walking through, and it was dark out too. That's also why I had the light on. So. And they're like, oh, okay, be careful. We saw something running around in here. It was big and black, and we think it was a bear. And I can tell you, there's no bears here. There's no forest here that can sustain a bear running around. First of all, it has to come from somewhere, and it ain't coming through any of that. And it looks like a lot of dense trees there. They're not. They're just big trees. It's subdivisions, not even subdivisions. Sorry, just suburban streets. But anyway, and that's just how it goes for miles and miles and miles till you get to the next town and the town after that. There's no bears here in Toronto, North Toronto, where I'm living anyway. But anyway, that being said, I said no, it's coyotes. There's a family of them here, and they're all like, oh, really? I didn't know, and whatever. And they kept walking up the street and hooting and hollering, just being teenagers, whatever. I didn't think anything more of it. Now today, I was just on my balcony because it was lighter out, and I like to come out and see the coyotes because they're usually running around. I just did a video of them actually, if you want to watch it, but they're usually running around kind of in this area, but they're more so in the trees and farther over. But sorry, in those trees, and they're usually running around in that area there. So anyway, I'm up here and I can see two people fucking around with this truck here. So I got mixed feelings about the truck being there and all those cars in the back row. You can see how much the snow came from today, I guess. There's like another truck right there. There's a trailer or something over here. And I can tell you right now, that's the guest parking. And every one of those fuckers, there's even a school bus there, but every one of those fuckers are parked illegally. Now, I understand, I live in Toronto. I know rent is ridiculous. The price, and you have to pay for parking. I get that, but we pay for parking. And, why are they getting it free? And then when people do come to visit, they have nowhere to park. And then people also, they'll park like those two cars right here. That's illegal. And sometimes they'll park right up against that fence right there, which is illegal. And even in the summer, they park right along here, and it blocks whenever there's a fire truck or something has to get through. They can't, or an ambulance, because fuckers are parking there. And the building always threatens, oh, we're gonna have your cars towed. I've lived here 20 years. They've not towed a single car ever. They just put up a notice to try and scare people. Nothing gets done. Anyway, that being said, sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there for a second. It just pisses me off. But anyway, so they're over by this thing, this van here, this truck here, whatever it is, camper. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a camper or something. Anyway, when people park over in that corner, it's a dark corner, and that's where the cars get broken into the most. So I'm just happen to stand up here looking at the field, looking for the coyotes, and I see these two kids, and I'm thinking, is that the same fucking kids from the other day? And I'm looking, it kind of looks like them, but then it was a little bit dark. It wasn't as dark as it is now, and they have their lights on, and there's a guy a couple cars over doing some work on his truck or whatever. And I don't know if they knew he was there until he was using power tools, or I think he was doing something with the tires. It might have been changing the tire or something. I don't know what he was doing, but then they really took notice. But they wouldn't leave. They just kind of kept, and they're right at the door. I could see them in the lights, so I knew they were doing something. So what I did was I have this thing here. I got it. My grandmother passed away. It was in her house. It's what it is. It's an air whistle. If you can read it, but I'm going to give it a little flash, little zap right now, and you're going to hear it is loud. Yeah, very loud, and that's why I didn't want to do it too long. It's not super late; it's kind of dark. But anyway, they looked up the first time and kind of wandered, and they kind of wandered back up into the trees here a little bit. Then a few minutes later, they came back. I'm watching them the whole time, and I turned on the light behind me here so they can see an outline. And I stood right over here, as far over as I can get, right against the wall. And I'm watching them because I wanted them to be able to see that there was someone watching them. And they kept doing what they're doing. And then I gave it a really solid blast, really long. And then they looked up, and then they just walked off into the trees. And a few minutes later, I turned the light off behind me. I came out, and then I can see they were coming back, and they were just kind of wandering back through the parking lot over here. And as soon as I got to around here, I could see right away that, yeah, it was the same fuckers from the other day, those little shits from the other day. When I walked over, I got them by surprise. They were trying to break into whatever that truck is, somebody else's truck. And I just happened to sort of walk into them, but I didn't catch what they were doing. So now I know for sure what they're fucking doing. And yeah, I feel kind of glad that even though the person's parked there illegally, and it's really irritating from somebody who like all these other people that are legitimately paying for parking spots, that they're stealing all these other spots that should be used by guests. I don't really care if they do it once in a while, because whatever, right? Sometimes it's an emergency, or someone's parked in your spot and you're kind of stuck and you have no way of dealing with it, so you just do what you got to do. But there's the same cars here, every single, that van right there, that's always there. But anyway, sorry, I keep going off onto that topic, but yeah, it was the same kids from the other day, and it's like I literally caught what they were doing. The only thing is I wasn't down there to do anything. I mean, I probably wouldn't do anything about it anyway, but I would make it clear that I caught them, and maybe just been like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? But also, I might have pulled out my phone and pretended I was recording something else, got their picture on camera. I might actually have it on the video. I still have the video I was starting to take the other day when I saw them. So I might even have their faces on camera. Who knows? And if I do, well, I don't have any evidence of what they're doing because I wasn't recording them in the act. But I can, if I know who owns that vehicle and it does get broken into, then yeah, I got their pictures. But anyway, just a funny little story. Just say I caught these two kids from a distance. But anyway, maybe someone I know that knows them will see this video. And yeah, that van, camper, whatever the fuck it is, illegally parked. Yeah, that's what they're breaking into. Anyway, until the next one. Bye.